Test. And we made it. Welcome back. It is Friday. My name is Brian, and I am glad you can be here. My computer's dark. I'm like, what's going on? So it is Star Wars Friday, and I have to be completely honest right now. So I just finished watching The Babadook from 2014. Speaking of which, um, for a upcoming Nerdiverse podcast, Halloween podcast. And yeah, like like by the way, link in the chat. I'll be on the Nerdiverse live podcast tonight. I'm sure we'll be talking all types of shenanigans this week and going ons of this week. But anyway, I just finished watching The Babadook, and I have to be perfectly honest, I'm a little messed up. Like the movie didn't mess me up, but just the experience of the movie at 3 o'clock on a Friday, it's a bit of a bummer, man. And it's like it was the only time I have another movie to watch before the end of the weekend. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Look out for that podcast. It is coming soon. Today we are here with a Star Wars book review. Honestly, we should have two. We should have four. Three of the books I don't really remember very well. One of the books is Pirate's Price with Hondo. I can at least bring it up. Damn it, we're gonna end up doing a book review, aren't we? Yeah, I guess so. Fine. I wasn't gonna do it because I just don't remember it very well. Pirates. Oops. All right, so two Star Wars book review, and this book, I have to be perfectly honest. We just did last week. We did a book review on God, the other book that took me 9 months to finish. Oh, Battle Scars. Cool name, by the way. This is another one of those books that took me like 9 months to finish, and this is a tiny, tiny book. It's about 5 hours on the audiobook listen. But it is voiced like by Hondo, and I love Hondo. Hondo's fantastic, but 5 hours of Hondo, yeah, it's like sitting at a bar with Hondo, him telling stories. So essentially, what we have is, and actually, it's quite interesting because they've made Hondo a main character, a mainstay, because this book follows him from about the time of, pardon me, I need to close these windows a little bit. Follows him from about the time of the original through what is, I want to say, at least episode seven, if not eight or nine. So I'm not sure how they plan on using Hondo in the future. I'm not even sure if this is canon. I did not check. But essentially, Hondo's telling stories about his experience with Han Solo and Chewbacca. It's set in about three or four short story while he's at a bar. Someone's trying to get the Millennium Falcon from him as it is in his possession, which you're like, how does Hondo? All right, fair enough. And so the stories are what you would expect: smuggling, treachery. They're fun. You know, there's nothing too in depth. There's not a lot of action. There's a lot of Han yelling, a lot of Chewbacca growling. Which is why we weren't going to do this book review because I don't necessarily remember what happened in a whole lot of it because it's taken so long to finish. But what I will say is it's very true to Hondo. It's very true to Hondo's spirit. And if I was reading it, it probably would have been a much, much better experience. But in this aspect, listening to the audiobook, it was just kind of a lot. So overall, Am I gonna? No, it doesn't deserve a one. You know what I mean? That's like a personal opinion thing. It's quite a fun book, and some of the adventures are actually they're what you expect listening to Hondo at the bar. So, on that note, this book is going to get a 2 out of 5. So that is our first book review, which we weren't going to do. So it's done. On that note, our second book review is our second book in the original book series from 1994. I thought this book was from 97. I mean, I was young. I was like a freshman, maybe a sophomore, depending on the year, when this book came out. And this book was dope, I remember. So I was excited, much like I was with Jedi Search, to go back. Again, short novel. I think it's about 3 hours long on the audiobook. And where we are is what this cover shows. We are with Luke on Yavin in the middle of training. Um, Book's interesting on a number of different levels for me. I do not know the XR Hoon Coon XR Hoon Hoon XR Coon background very well. It's not been something that I've studied, so he does become the main type of Sith that we're dealing with here, but per normal, it's done through one of an intermediary, which is one of Luke's students, which we won't give away here. But what is interesting about this book is the people have often asked me, "Hey, Brian, what happened to Luke's students after?" His training, or was it just um, Ben who who he trained and failed? And it's like, no, he trained other people, and this book is a good reminder of some of those other people, even though they don't really get their time in the light. Their names are just mentioned. And, Luke's idea of training is very much go walk around, interact with the nature, the woods, man. It's cool. Tell me what you feel later. And so this version of Luke is interesting because he himself is relatively young in both being a master and his powers. And Exar Kun, um, he's aware of the dark side, but the dark side kind of wrecks shop in this book a little bit. It's a little too short to be super awesome, but it's pretty cool what we get. It does make me kind of wish, and I don't read the comics, so I don't know how far we've went into XR's actual story there. I don't know what's canon, I guess I should say. But it does kind of make me wish that they would go back and kind of redo this series and give it the proper, 12, 15, 17 hour long endeavor. The other thing we get in this book is Mon Mothma is not doing well. And she's not doing well in a lot of books that I read. Empire's in, not doing well. The last time I see Mon Mothma doing well is Andor. And I have to be perfectly honest with you, she wasn't doing too hot in Andor. So, Mon Mothma's had it rough. So, this book does go into that. Not a lot of action, too short to have a lot of action, mostly just plot, story, couple of things happen, and wrap up to whatever our third book is in this trilogy. So I definitely going to say, as I'm ranking this is 3 out of 5. Could be a 4, just not super long, so you don't get the goods. And on that note, those are our book reviews today. Our I always forget to do that. I don't know what makes me think people make it to 9 minutes because I can't imagine that they do. So, that will be our book reviews for today. Star Wars Dark Apprentice and Pirate's Price. Um, So, on to our game. We are trying to find the Ebon Hawk, and unfortunately, I did not do my homework, so we are still a bit lost. But hopefully, we can get the hell out of here. Because it would be a bummer if we don't get out of here today, and I am sorry. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my very best. Oh, also, if the frame rate drops again like it did last week, let me know because again this week we are dealing with a lot of wind. So, internet signal is not super fantastic. That's where I want to go. Is the docking port. Okay. And hopefully everything works better. That's good, because I have to be honest, that motion blur kind of made me ill a little bit, man. It kind of made me ill a little bit looking at that motion blur. It was rough. We downloaded the logs.
We have taken on.
Sir.
We listened to all of this.
Report. Then who?
Did you still? Yes, sir.
No.
Everyone in the... We have...
We're still.
Sir. What the hell? Sir.
Yeah, we did that because we had to download the paperwork. Yeah, that frame rate is terrible. Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Still not good. It's not ideal, but maybe. Yeah, you're at least keeping up. Yeah, you're at least keeping up now. So we went to the escape pods, the bridge. Turn you down. I mean, it's still not good. No. Alright, we're leaving. We already did all of that. So, went that way. Yeah, that is where we went. That is still locked. The droid station is still empty. He doesn't have anything left on him. And can't get around the containment field yet. You're absolutely correct, I don't. I really should have eaten something. There's supposed to be a council right there. Well, looks like I didn't go all the way up there. Oh, it might be locked, that's why. Oops.
I hear you. Oh. This is a game where you do have to use things from the inventory area, which I'm not a super fan of. Nope, I don't seem to have any mines. I really do need to do some inventory management though. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yes.
We managed to get to the dormitories. We should be safe here. We've been trying to use the holo transmitter to beam a transmission to the administration level to end the lockdown. But the administration console's been severed from the main hub. Everyone thinks we should try to evacuate on our own as soon as possible. I'm going to keep sending distress calls in the meantime. The situation's worse than we thought. Even if we get out of here, we can't shut down the fuel depot force fields if a fuel leak was detected. I only hope someone survived the explosion in the mining tunnels. If not, then we're stranded here. Unless our transmission reaches a passing ship, or a Telos freighter. Managed to use the holo transmitter here as a crude relay to beam short-burst transmissions outside the Paragas facility. With any luck, the transmission... We've set the emergency transmission on automatic playback. We're using... Without those turbolift codes, our rescuers wouldn't be able to... The messages are short distress calls only. After all, who would be scouring...
No one good.
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi. About selling him to the exchange.
Yeah, but security already set their piece on that, didn't they? Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
Are they? I've seen the logs you've been accessing. Maybe the two of us could work something out.
It doesn't matter what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left of the Republic was on us.
If you have a way off this station,
Well, I may know someone. Works this system on special jobs. He may want to know details.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details.
Handle the rest.
When the time comes, I'll contact you via...
Since when did the maintenance officer grow some...
This may be the beginning of a long record. It's about an hour after the facility suffered the explosion that triggered the emergency. Just finished helping the dock officer set up the transmission relay. Not much. The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3, 17, 13. Then the next 2 numbers are...
Sir, couldn't we contact the med bay? Maybe the Jedi's awake. If so, he...
No good. The link to the medical computer was severed from... Even if the Jedi wakes up, how would we get the dormitory turbo lift code to him? Without it, the turbo lift to the administration... We just took an inventory of our supplies. We've got enough emergency rations in the dormitories to last almost a month. But with all the problems in the facility, I don't know how long we'll last. Wish we could contact the Jedi. Maybe he could... But no, he's still floating in that damn tank. Someone's played us for fools. And since Quarter and his crew aren't locked in here with us, it's pretty clear who it was. If I ever catch up with that Mandalorian-loving son of a... At least the air scrubbers are still working, even though...
Why isn't my mouse working anymore?
What's happening to the ventilation system? It's...
Yeah, that explains all of that. That explains all of that. Poor bastards. Poor bastards. Had to had a Jedi or 2 with them. It would have been better, you know what I mean? Give me your money, you don't need it. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Alright. We've done all our shopping. Ah, damn damaged door. I don't have a freaking mine. Not with me. Not with me. What do you guys think? Mine. Get over here. Can you cover this mine? Oh, but he has to. Right. I didn't know that. That would have been helpful information. Back there. It's fine. We will double back.
Just say the word. Damn thing's stuck.
Bummer. And, yeah, you wanna know what? You're just going to... Bro. You run slow. You run very, very slow, man. That you can do. That you can do. All of that for an energy shield? Not worth it. Not worth it. Yeah, we got a workbench right here that we should be probably spending time at, but I have no desire to spend time at the workbench while I'm still sitting in this freaking building, but I will make sure everybody's armor's on point, because No sense in just getting wrecked and going to the next room. Probably should have just did that afterwards. See what I mean? You know what? I need that more than you do. Are you kidding me? Where's your weapon? Where's your freaking weapon? What do you weren't using a weapon? Well, looks like we're headed back to the Dark Republic ship, which is... I don't remember. I mean, that's the only place I know there would be a Republic ship. Oh, there are probably places I can't, or I can go now that I couldn't go earlier. Nope. It's the only place I know. No, a command deck. Yeah, the... Well, at least we've made progress this playthrough, you know what I mean? It's not like last playthrough where we were just like, where do we go? I mean, what's the point of ending the lockdown if nothing works? I don't understand. So, the Nerdiverse Live podcast. What are we going to be talking about tonight? I know that Oh my god, Peacemaker. Ugh, Jesus. God, I really need to sit down and think about that. I have no idea what I've done this week. Where is the ship? Where is the docked ship? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me where the docked ship is if it's not at the docking port? Anybody? Nope. It's only a second. Oh, that's just where I just freaking came from. Well, there's no council here that there's supposed to be for a turbo lift, but you know, that's fine. Yeah, we just came from there. Why do they make it so hard?
Emergency lockdown.
Yep, nothing here. Nothing there. There is a command desk there. Nope. That's going to be the medical computer. So, past that, I don't really know what else to do. Oh, I guess we can go outside? Maybe? Question mark? Well, on that note, we're just going to stop right here before I just lose my mind, because we're just wandering around. So, that's a good place to stop. We did make some small amount of progress, but I will probably figure that out on my own off time and get that done so that we can just collectively move along as a group. On that note, my name is Brian, and I want to thank you for tuning in or popping in and rewatching, and I hope you have a good week. Again, Nerdiverse Live podcast tonight, and on that note, have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend.